welcome to the first episode in the second spin-off series, What's for Dinner Dessert Edition. Wait a minute. This isn't my kitchen. Yes, I am currently still in Colorado visiting Eric and Caroline, and they have been gracious enough to allow me the use of their kitchen for this first episode. So today I'm going to be making a strawberry cheesecake roll-up. In fact, this is the second attempt at trying to make this. I tried to make it yesterday, and well, we don't talk about that. So what you're going to see me make today is the actual cake part. I've already made the cream cheese filling yesterday. So to start off, I have 6 eggs in this bowl right here, just to show you that there are actually 6 eggs here. I'm going to take them out, I'm going to crack these eggs into this bowl, and then I'm going to whisk them together. That's 1. That's 2. There's 3. There's 4, 5, and 6. Wash my hands real quick. All right, 6 eggs. I'm going to whisk them together. Now, what I did not do yesterday, and I'm not sure if this is the reason why it didn't work yesterday, but because this portion of Colorado sits at a higher altitude, there are certain high altitude adjustments that you must make when you're baking. So, I have graciously been given some of these particular altitude adjustments that I will attempt to put into this particular recipe. Alright, these eggs are looking pretty good and scrambled, even though I'm not making scrambled eggs. Alright, once you got your eggs in there, your next ingredient would be 2.5 cups of sugar. Look at this little cup thing. It's a little fox. But one of the high altitude adjustments with this is I'm going to take out a tablespoon. 1 cup. About 2 cups. And then this little one back here, this little raccoon, aren't these cute? 1/2 cup. I think this is just going to be about enough. So I'm going to take out 1 tablespoon of sugar. Dump that back in. Alright, dump that in. And you're going to whisk this together. Alright, once the sugar and eggs are whisked, you're going to add 2 tablespoons. Let me get the sugar thing out of here. Add 2 tablespoons of oil. Then you're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. There is a high altitude adjustment for this. Take out 1/8 of a teaspoon per teaspoon. I want to take out a 1/4 teaspoon in total. I actually have a 1/4 teaspoon right here. So this is 1 teaspoon. So that's 1 teaspoon. Now what I'm going to do is I'll take this full teaspoon, but then I'll take this 1/4 teaspoon and take out a 1/4 of it. Alright, so that goes in. Next you're going to add a little bit of salt. It's a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to shake a little bit in here. You don't need a whole lot. And then 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 1, 2. And you whisk this together. Alright, now the next thing, once you've whisked all that together, you're going to add 1.5 cups of flour. Let me clean up this a little bit here. Alright, so now we're going to put in the 1.5 cups of flour. I'm going to change from whisking to, I got a spatula here, we're going to do that instead. So let's measure this out. 1.5 cups flour. And I don't have any high altitude adjustments for this. The other high altitude adjustment, which I did not mention yet, was I am preheating the oven. The recipe for this particular one says to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. The high altitude adjustment says to increase that by 25 degrees. So the oven has been preheated to 375 for this particular recipe. So that goes in. Take this and knead it in. And what you should get is a nice, pretty much a dough that will turn into the cake. So I already said I made the cream cheese filling for this cake already. I made it yesterday, and I figured why waste it and make more when I already had it. So I think what I might do is I might show me making that yesterday right now. All right, I've reset things a little bit. Now we're going to make, like I said, the cream cheese filling that's going to go into the roll. So I have with me here 8 ounces of just your normal Philadelphia cream cheese. We're going to put this into this bowl. I did have this sitting out so it could soften up a little bit, which it looks like it has somewhat. We're going to put in 1/2 cup of normal sugar like we did in the actual cake, and then a tablespoon of vanilla. It should get to the consistency of icing. So that's why you really want to make sure you have the cream cheese set out so it softens, so that when you do go to mix it, it gets to be that kind of consistency. So as you can see, it looks pretty simple, to make it at least. Cream cheese, vanilla, and more sugar. This batter is slowly getting to be right where it needs to be. I'm going to stir this a little bit more, and then I'm going to change up the setting here a little bit, and I'll be back so we can start baking this. So the next thing, after you've got your batter all nice and mixed together, what I have here is just a standard cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. You're going to dump the batter onto the parchment paper lined cookie sheet. You're going to evenly spread it out, and then you're going to bake it normally 350 degrees for 15 minutes. Because of the high altitude, I'm at 375 degrees for 15 minutes. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and dump this batter onto the sheet here. You also want to make sure that you evenly spread it, so certain areas of it aren't thin and certain areas of it aren't thick. As much of this out as you possibly can. Put this over here. Alright, and then spread it out. Alright, once you've practically got it as evenly spread as possible, I am so making sure that this is evenly spread because I don't want anything to happen again. Then you're going to bake it. 350 degrees, 15 minutes. Open up our oven. And it goes. Alright, 15 minutes. We'll be back shortly. Alright, so it's been just about 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do when I take it out, I'm going to hopefully flip it over onto this wax paper that is covered in powdered sugar. I'm then going to roll it up, and then we're going to stick it in the fridge for a half an hour for it to cool. So right now I'm going to first get the oven mitt, which is down here. Open up this oven. Okay, hold on a minute here, I need a second thing. I had a second one, and I don't know, I might have to use it here. I don't know if I can get it with one hand. Oh, here it is. Alright. That's out of it. I'm not gonna burn myself. Not gonna burn myself. Not gonna burn myself. Yeah, I think this is good. Looking alright. Can I do this without hurting myself? Let's see. First, let's turn the oven off. How about that? So I was checking to see if I had to wait till it cooled, but no. You just invert it onto this. Now, let me also say, the recipe says to use a dish towel or a kitchen towel of some sort. We don't have that at this particular time, so we're going to use this wax paper. All right, now. That works. Okay, that worked. How am I going to do this without hurting myself? The cake should, in theory, is this hot? Yes, this is hot. Come off fairly easily because of the parchment paper. Alright, let's see. Where had the fork? Where'd that fork go? Let me try something here. Try to get out. This pan is really hot. This is not very simple to do. Alright, it's sort of coming out. I'm going to try to re-invert this so I can at least loosen the cake here. So hot. Okay, now I think it's going to work. Alright, now, gently, this is still hot. Okay, that worked. Alright, are you going to come out? I was going to say, you know how much easier it was putting parchment paper at the bottom of a pan. You know, didn't have to grease it or whatnot. I'm kind of rethinking my thoughts about that right now. Oh, there, it just fell. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There it is. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, now we peel the parchment paper off without taking any of the cake with us. Doesn't look half bad, actually. Wow, that actually works. Now comes the second difficult part. Rolling this thing up. Now remember, I did say you're supposed to use a kitchen towel. We don't have a kitchen towel to use, so we're using wax paper. All right. Look at that. Look at that. All right, now we refrigerate it for half an hour. So I'm going to take this away from here in the fridge first. Now we refrigerate it for half an hour. When I come back, we're going to put the cream cheese icing, and then we're going to put in the actual strawberry part, which is 2 cups of, not diced, but chopped strawberries. So we'll be back when it's time for that. Alright, it's been about a half an hour. Let's take this thing out of the fridge. Oh, it's cooled down nicely, surprisingly. Now, we unroll it fully. Alright, now once we've unrolled it, alright, now we have our cream cheese frosting stuff that you watched me make yesterday. So, I'm going to scoop this on, or just dump this on. Spread this out. Spread it out across. It doesn't have to be evenly spread, because then what we got to do is we got to roll it up again. Once you've got your cream cheese icing spread about, next comes the strawberry part. I have 2 cups of chopped strawberries, which I did, part of them I did yesterday, part of them I did today, and I did that before I started recording. Alright. These are the ones I chopped yesterday. The ones I chopped today. Actually, that looks pretty good. Evenly spread here a bit. You don't want like them, you don't want mountains, and the roll part is not going to work. I kind of want to leave it like this, but now I got to roll it up. Now at this point, you're only supposed to use the wax paper or towel as a guide when you're rolling it. In fact, I think I'm going to roll it the opposite direction. And there we go, it already just broke. I'm going to roll it in the opposite direction. I have a thing over here. Transfer it over to this. Actually, let me just roll it on. And the last thing you gotta do is dust it with some more powdered sugar. Let me get this wax paper out of the way. Some more powdered sugar here. This thing is huge. Just a little bit. You don't want a lot. And that should do it. And then you eat it. Knife. Oh my word, this thing is huge. It's tearing at the seam, which I had a feeling was going to happen. It usually happens when I do things like this. Transfer it over to here. Get more of the strawberry here. All right. Let's see if this was worth the attempt. All right, moment of truth. Oh my. Wow, that is delicious. Got a lot of cake in this one, not many strawberries. Presentation is absolutely atrocious. Doesn't taste too bad. Go for some more strawberries. Thank you all for watching this first episode in the spin-off series, What's for Dinner Dessert Edition. I will be back in Toledo next week for next week's episode. Again, a special thank you to Eric and Caroline for allowing me to use their kitchen while I'm here in Colorado. And I hope that they like cream cheese, strawberry cheesecake roll-ups. Whatever. Again, thanks for watching. God bless. And I will see you next time. There's like no strawberries in this.